Good morning, all of you. We are going to discuss muscles of back today. So, few of the muscles what we are going to discuss were actually taught when we were doing upper limb as well. So, it will be a small revision also. And of course, we will be discussing all the muscles whichever are seen like in the superficial, intermediate, and the deep compartment. Now, see, muscles of back, we have extrinsic muscles and intrinsic muscles. Now, extrinsic muscles of the back are superficial extrinsic back muscles. We have trapezius, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, rhomboids major and rhomboids minor. They all connect the upper limb to the trunk. Now let us see what are these muscles. Now you are finding this trapezium shaped muscle is trapezius. This is latissimus dorsi, okay, which is quite big back muscle, which we see once we reflect the skin, like from the external occipital protuberance when we move up to the sacral spines, when we take one long incision, when we start reflecting the skin, the very first muscle what is exposed is trapezius. Below the trapezius, we see latissimus dorsi. Once you reflect the trapezius, below the trapezius, we will see the rhomboids minor, and below that we have rhomboids major, and this is levator scapulae. So these are the muscles which are written here as superficial extrinsic back muscles: trapezius, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, rhomboids major and minor. They are all connecting the upper limb to the trunk. That's how we have read these muscles when we were doing upper limb, because most of them are attached to, as trapezius, it is attached to clavicle. If you can recollect, latissimus dorsi is attached to the humerus, levator scapulae, rhomboids major, minor, they are attached to the scapula. Now, superficial extrinsic back muscles: trapezius, okay, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, rhomboids minor, okay, and rhomboids major. Now, see, this is a very good picture which helps us to get an understanding like what we are discussing today. The very, as you reflect the skin, the very first muscle we are finding here is trapezius. Below the trapezius, we have latissimus dorsi. And if you remember, the fascia which is seen here in the midline is thoracolumbar fascia. Okay. Then, once you reflect the trapezius muscle, underlying that, this is the levator scapulae, rhomboids minor, major. And like with the scapula bone in the upper limb, we have studied this is supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and of course, this is teres minor above and teres major below. Then, apart from this, when we were doing neck dissection, we have done suboccipital region also. We have seen splenius capitis and semispinalis cervicis muscles also here. Now, as you move down, of course, this is our latissimus dorsi. So once you have cut off, once you have reflected this latissimus dorsi, we are able to see the deeper muscles like serratus posterior inferior, and like if you just cut the other muscles, we also find serratus anterior. Okay. Now once you cut these serratus muscles, you are finding like there is one muscle which is quite straight in line. Okay, so this muscle is erector spinae. Okay, now these are the muscles what we are going to elaborate in the back. Apart from this, we have seen in the anterior abdominal wall, like coming from the iliac crest, like are going towards the insertion. We have seen muscles like, what are the muscles we saw? The external oblique muscle, the internal oblique muscle, and also the transversus abdominis, which are seen as small parts from here. As you come down, we are seeing these are the glute. This is of course gluteal region, where we can see the gluteus maximus muscle. Under the cover of gluteus maximus, we have seen many muscles like gluteus medius, gluteus minimus. Just recollect it and try to see the muscles of lower limb if you want to know the details of this. But for today, we are going to discuss and elaborate the muscles of back. Now, see, this picture has been taken from Vishram Singh. Like, see, I will discuss, of course, in detail like each, but this is something like in a nutshell, which helps us to understand the trapezius, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, rhomboids minor, major. This table was given in the upper limb book itself, and of course, we have done this. But as a small revision, let us review it, because again, we are doing the muscles of back. So first, we have trapezius. So which is large, flat, triangular muscle forming the sloping ridge of the neck. So origin is, it is coming from the medial thirds of the superior nuchal line, and also the external occipital protuberance, and this green line which has been shown like the partition what we have, which is attached to the spines of the cervical vertebrae. Okay, that is the ligamentum nuchae, and the spine of C7 and the spines of all thoracic vertebrae. So this is the origin. Coming to the insertion, we have upper fibers which are sweeping downwards and they are coming to the posterior border here in the clavicle. Posterior border and upper surface of the lateral thirds of the clavicle. Now these are the middle fibers which are running horizontally, medial border of the acromion and upper lip of the spine of the scapula. This is the upper lip of the spine of the scapula. Now coming to the lower fibers, these are all lower fibers which are running upwards towards the tubercle. Here we will have the tubercle, right? If you remember the scapula bone. Tubercle of the spine of the scapula near its root. Okay, here. So this is trapezius. Nerve supply, spinal accessory. If you remember, one more muscle which is supplied by the spinal accessory is sternocleidomastoid. Try to remember. Spinal accessory is motor nerve and ventral rami of C3 and C4. These are sensory. Now action of trapezius is these uppermost fibers plus levator scapulae, which is underlying this, elevates the shoulder, helps in shrugging. As you say, I don't know, something like that. That is shrugging of shoulders. Okay, now middle fibers and lower parts of the rhomboids, they help in retraction and steadying of the scapula. Okay. Now after this, now we are going to the next like biggest muscle what we see in the back. Of course, we have seen this muscle, that is latissimus dorsi, wide flat triangular muscle on the back. Now origin is spines of the lower six thoracic vertebrae. Okay, T7 to T12, and also the anterior to the trapezius by tendinous fibers, as you can see. Then posterior lamina of the thoracolumbar fascia, by which it is attached to the spines of lumbar and sacral vertebra by tendinous fibers. Okay. Then outer, now this is our iliac crest. From the outer lip of the posterior part of the iliac crest by muscular slips, and lower 3 to 4 ribs by fleshy slips. Okay, these are this outline, lower 3 to 4 ribs, okay, by fleshy slips, and inferior angle of the scapula. Okay, now, so now that is coming, that was the origin. Now let us see the insertion of latissimus dorsi. So this is the, if you remember, this is the humerus bone, and here we have the intertubercular sulcus or the bicipital groove, and in the groove we have latissimus dorsi. Actually we have discussed, like there was a dictum for us to remember easily, like lady between two majors. So the lady is in the floor, L is standing for the latissimus dorsi, isn't it? And the other majors are, one was the pectoralis major and the other was the teres major, related to the lateral and medial lips of the bicipital groove. Okay, just a little bit of recollection. So latissimus dorsi and teres major together, they are forming the posterior axillary fold. This also we studied when we were doing axilla. The nerve supply is thoracodorsal nerve, which is coming from the brachial plexus, posterior cord. Action, it helps in adduction, extension, and medial rotation of humerus, pulls the trunk upwards, forwards during climbing, and assists backward swinging of arm during walking, and takes part in all violent expiratory efforts. Now, extrinsic muscles of the back. So we have intermediate extrinsic back muscles are serratus posterior superior, serratus posterior inferior. Let us see in the following slides. They are superficial respiratory muscles and they are supplied by intercostal nerves. Now see, this is the serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior. So serratus posterior, superior and inferior are intermediate extrinsic back muscles. So intrinsic muscles of the back, called muscles of the back proper, deep muscles of the back are the intrinsic ones. They are supplied by the posterior primary rami of spinal nerves. They act to maintain posture and control the movements of vertebral column. Now, apart from this, the intrinsic muscles of back, we have the superficial intrinsic back muscles, splenius cervicis and splenius capitis. So nerve supply is the posterior rami of spinal nerves. Acting alone, laterally flex the neck and rotate head to side of active muscle. Acting together, extend head and neck. Now, superficial intrinsic muscles, you are finding this the splenius cervicis and also the splenius capitis. Okay. This is the splenius cervicis downwards, and this is our splenius capitis. Now, see, this is, we can see much more clearly the splenius cervicis muscle and the splenius capitis muscle. Here, this side is the capitis and this side is the splenius cervicis. Now, let us see the splenius capitis muscle. So, splenius means it's like a bandage. Origin of the splenius capitis is it is arising from the seventh cervical and upper fourth thoracic vertebra and lower portion of the ligamentum nuchae. Insertion, you can see it is running upwards and laterally. It's moving towards the mastoid process and lateral third of the superior nuchal line. Nerve supply, posterior rami of middle cervical nerves. Action, it rotates the head and face to the same side. Acting bilaterally, they draw head backwards and extend the neck. Now, so next muscle what we have is the splenius cervicis. So splenius cervicis is origin is T3 to T6, this one, the lower one. An insertion, it passes deep to the capitis to be inserted into the transverse processes of the upper four cervical vertebrae. Then the nerve supply is posterior rami of the lower cervical nerves, and action turns the head and face towards the same side. Acting bilaterally, they extend the head and neck. So intermediate intrinsic back muscles, this is erector spinae, which is the chief extensor of vertebral column, and it is divided into three columns, also called as long muscle of the back. So we have lateral column, intermediate column, and medial column. When you come from the lateral aspect, we have iliocostalis, intermediate one is longissimus, and medial one is spinalis. So intermediate intrinsic, these muscles are actually supplied by the posterior rami of spinal nerves. And of course, when they act together, right and left one bilaterally, they extend head and neck and form a position of flexion. Acting unilaterally, laterally flex the vertebral column. So this whole thing, whatever we have is the erector spinae. Okay. So its components, we have the iliocostalis and this one is longissimus. Okay, spinalis we have, and laterally we have is the iliocostalis. Okay. So this is actually Netter's atlas picture, which is showing all the muscles if we try to understand. So like we are finding like serratus posterior superior, actually trapezius and latissimus dorsi are removed. The muscles which are attached to the scapula are removed. That's the reason we are not finding levator scapulae, rhomboids major, rhomboids minor, isn't it? Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, major are missing. So that means we have done a stepwise dissection removing trapezius, latissimus dorsi, muscles which were attached to the scapula. After that, you are seeing this serratus posterior superior muscle and serratus posterior inferior. Once you reflect this, once you cut this, below this, this is the way what we see. This is nothing but our erector spinae with its components like longissimus, iliocostalis. Okay, and of course the spinalis. Okay, you are finding all the three. Okay, lateral, intermediate, and the medial. ILS, try to remember. Okay, lateral, intermediate, and the medial. Iliocostalis, longissimus, and the spinalis. Okay, so based on the place where they are predominantly present, if it is in lumbar region, you call it as iliocostalis lumborum. And suppose the intermediate one is more towards the thorax, we call it as longissimus thoracis muscle. And the one which is close to the vertebral column, we have spinalis thoracis muscle. Okay. Now, deep intrinsic back muscles, group of muscles that lie deep to erector spinae. So it is divided into two subgroups, major deep layer, minor deep layer. Okay. So major deep layer is transversospinal group, which consists of semispinalis, multifidus, and rotators. Nerve supply comes from posterior rami of spinal nerves. Action, extension, and stabilization of vertebral column. Okay. This much deeper inside, we are finding semispinalis, multifidus, and rotators. Okay. Deep intrinsic back muscles, transverso spinal group, like we have, what are the various muscles we have? The semispinalis muscle, okay. Then we have, this is the multifidus, what you are seeing here, okay. And of course, these are the rotators, thoracic, short and long, okay. So these are the rotators, which are actually connecting the laminae of the vertebrae to the transverse processes, right? Like that. So if they are short in size, small in size, you call them as brevis, rotator brevis. If they are long in size, we use the word rotator longus. So deep intrinsic back muscles, minor deep layer, we have interspinals, intertransverse area, levators posterum. So of course, they are again supplied by posterior rami of spinal nerves. Action, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, and stabilization of vertebral column. Okay. Now see, these are the various movements which are performed by the back muscles, like flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and of course the rotation. Now let us summarize like what is here. So extrinsic movements of upper limb and respiration. First layer we saw trapezius and latissimus dorsi. Second layer we saw levator scapulae, rhomboids minor and major. Third layer we saw serratus posterior, superior and inferior. Once you have cut all these muscles, then we went to intrinsic muscles which are acting on vertebral column and neck. In this first layer, we saw splenius, capitis and cervicis, right? Second layer, we saw erector spinae, isn't it? So iliocosta, you remember like lateral, intermediate and medial, okay? ALS or something. Iliocostalis, longissimus and spinalis. Third layer is the deepest one, transverso-spinal. We have multifidus, rotators and semispinalis. Thank you.